Yes, 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 Nicholas, yeah? That is exactly how you use it, yeah? So, Nicholas, I'm turning you into some kind of British sarcasm test. Okay, so it's not like we're in a hurry, right? That's how you would say it. So, I tried to apologize, say, sorry, it's loading, whatever, and say, oh, yeah, that's okay, it's not as if we're in a hurry, meaning as in we are in a hurry. Yeah, cool. So, we have Nicholas here, and we also have me, that's good. At least there's us. We are going to follow on from two classes I just had on kind of Cockney culture-ish East End thing, just because you would hear this if you visit London, and I don't want you to go there and be confused, yeah, because they are quite individual, quite cool. So we're going to talk about this. I don't know the language myself, I don't know this slang, because it's not from my area, but we've got a good resource that will teach us some. And some we would use actually in other regions, just because we find their expressions cool or whatever. So, but it's not just for everyone around the UK. It's specific to this area in London. So let's see who comes. I will share you the website. It's a really, really good website. It's called CockneyRhymingSlang.co.uk or whatever, and there's a hell of a lot. So it should be interesting for you. Let's see. So, Abdu, are you there? Abdu Snoop. Okay, we'll come back to you. Anton, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Cool. Okay, good that you're back. Do you know any Cockney?
No, I just decided to join this class because I want to know about Cockney.
Okay, yeah. So me too. To be honest, yeah, if I could choose, I don't know. I like where I come from, but if I could choose, I would like to be Cockney. I kind of like the attitude. But this is interesting. So Sourab, are you there? Grand entrance. It's like the entrance you see in movies where they're like that, yeah? So it's like, okay, so Sourab, we can't hear you just yet. Hopefully we can speak to you very, very soon. Okay, in that case, Bruno is back, and Nicholas is back.
Cool. Yeah, I'm back.
Bruno and Nicholas is there.
Yes, here I am.
Everything's working. Good. And Alina. Alina? Okay, maybe it's loading, but Michela. We've spoken before, I've forgotten how you told me to pronounce your name.
Yes.
Michela, isn't it?
Yes, Michela, it's correct.
Michela, cool. Okay, so welcome, Michela. And also that's Saurabh. Saurabh, you there? No worries. He's run off, I scared him. Sorry. His friend's there, I think. Okay, so in that case, we'll come back in a minute. Okay, so Jane, don't lose your seat. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Did you almost lose your seat? How?
Because I was checking something. I was checking the page about Cockney rhyming slang.
And then it was a bit hit and miss. Okay, so hopefully it's all right. Okay, so welcome, guys. We're going to talk about Cockney. So this is a slang. Kind of a bit like a language in the East End of London, very traditional. And the definition of a Cockney person is, wait, let me find it, because there's a particular church in the East End of London, and you are Cockney, officially Cockney, if you live within earshot of the bells of this church. So if you live in this area of London, and from your house, when the bells ring at the church, you can hear it, you are what we call a Cockney person. You are Cockney, and this is your culture. This is, in fact, I don't know, the mentality is a bit different and things like that. It's very, very interesting. So has anyone heard about these people, Cockney?
Yeah.
Nicholas has.
Well, the Cockney, it's a dialect, but I've learned A little bit.
So it's a dialect. I'm just trying to find exactly where what this church is, but I know that if you are within earshot, yeah, this church. Okay, I'll show you quickly my screen. If you live in London, but you're born in London, it's not about if you move, because nowadays people live there and they're not Cockneys. But the traditional Cockney people are people that if this church rings on a Sunday or something, and you can hear this church, the bell, you are a Cockney person. I don't know how, usually, for example, they say, okay, you are a Londoner if you live in London. That would make it quite easy, yeah? So I live in London, I don't, but if I lived in London, I'll be a Londoner. With this, they define them, if you can hear the church, you're Cockney. If you can't hear the church, you're either deaf or something else, yeah? So you're not Cockney. Okay, so that's how they define it. Has anyone heard of this, apart from Nicholas?
No.
Okay, Michaela, have you heard?
No.
Sorry, can you repeat please?
Have you heard of this Cockney, kind of Cockney culture?
No, I never heard about it.
Okay, no worries.
I know that there are a lot of dialects in London, but I never heard about it.
Okay, yeah, so there's lots of dialects. This is probably the most maybe traditional London dialect, and people still speak it, but of course now, you know, in East End of London, loads of people live there. So traditionally it would be someone who was born and raised in this part, they would speak a different way, they would you know, be quite strong characters, and they would have these kind of traditions and stuff. And they'd eat funny food. Well, I call it funny, but yeah. Okay, so that's Cockney culture. And Nicholas and Anton were there watching this soap I showed you in the last 2 classes. These people are Cockney, okay, Nicholas. What were your impressions of Cockney people so far? Now you've seen them. So I can't hear you.
Yeah, so sarcastic.
Yep. Very sarcastic, yep. What else?
I don't know. They have I don't know. They have a different language from you. Above all, that girl having breakfast, she had a very typical or quite peculiar accent, and well, maybe there's a lot of tarts. I don't know.
Yeah, things like that. Okay, yes, that is the stereotype as well. The men are a bit like that, yeah. And basically, stereotype is not true. The men are taxi drivers, or they have a market stall, and the women are a bit retarded. But that's stereotypes. But really, actually, these people have a very good work ethic, which means they maybe work quite hard, and they're very good at selling because they're very. This is a generalization. We're not saying that every single person there is this, but the understanding of them is that they're very good at selling because they're very confident. Yeah, they think they say what they think. Yeah, and things like that. They don't hold back. They're very sarcastic. So Alina, have you ever heard about these kind of people?
I know that.
About Cockney people, I've never heard, but I've heard about the language.
This kind of slang, yeah, this
Yeah.
kind of dialect thing. Okay, any more comments? Okay, let's try some, okay? So we're going to learn some rhyming slang. Some I would know, some I've never heard, but we're going to learn it together. One of my favourites that I had, because I had a similar class to this maybe a couple of weeks ago, one of my favourites was this, omatobla. I'm omatobla. Does anyone know what this means, or could mean? Or did anyone follow that class? Bruno, do you have an idea? Omatobla.
No, I have not. I have no idea.
Okay, I'll explain. Just to give you an idea of the structure of the words, it's English, yeah? So all the words they say are English. Well, tobla is not really an English word, which I'll explain in a minute. But they use the words in a very clever way so that they understand, but no one else understands unless they learn Cockney, this dialect. So all the words they use are English, but they say things like the most common, the most famous ones that you may have heard: apples and pears. Yeah, you understand these 3 words: apples and pears. Great. I can hear some background noise. So apples and pears, they're all English words, but something specific in Cockney. Who knows? Apples and pears. What does this mean? Does anyone know? It means stairs. Okay.
Wow.
So they say, I'm going up the apples and pears, meaning I'm going up the stairs. I need, and they can develop it so well that, for example, if I say I need new stairs, maybe they can say need is something else, yeah, something and heed, yeah, something that rhymes, and the whole thing is like this, and it's very, very interesting. If you don't understand, because of course each word is English, but we don't understand. Or equally, for example, they say dog and bone. Oh, get the dog and bone.
It's the telephone.
Yes, you know this one. Okay, dog and bone is telephone. So you can link it. I'm going up the apples and pears to answer the dog and bone. Yeah. Or, but to answer, maybe you could swap answer for something. Yeah. So you understand how it works.
Yes, Martin, can you explain once again on my Tobler? What is it?
Yeah. This is what I was going to do now. And Tobler is a bit more advanced. Yeah, this would be like maybe C2 level Cockney. Okay, so apples and pears, dog and bone. You know, this is kind of B1 intermediate level. On Verbling, if there was a Cockney class, it would be kind of intermediate. But on my Tobler, that's too advanced. Yeah, so this is like the top. Tobler is short for Toblerone. Okay, and do you all know this brand, Toblerone?
It's a chocolate here.
Yeah, it's a chocolate as well. And Toblerone.
Yeah.
So now on my Toblerone, what does Toblerone sound like?
On my Tobler.
Okay, I'll tell you if you don't know. Yeah, Toblerone rhymes with alone. So on my Tobler, which is short for Toblerone, means I'm by myself. I have no friends with me. So I'm on my Tobler. I'm on my Toblerone. I'm on my own. I'm alone. Yeah? So Toblerone sounds like alone. The second sound. And what usually is so in Cockney, and it depends, there's lots of different variants, but usually the second sound rhymes with the word you want to say. So dog and bone, bone rhymes with telephone. Dog has nothing to do with it. You just say dog and bone. Apples and pears, the pears rhymes with stairs.
Stairs, yeah.
Toblerone, the roan rhymes with alone. You understand?
Alone.
Okay.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Okay, you gave one team viewer is I don't know. The thing is, I don't know this so well. I just find it, but it could mean I don't know.
China plate.
China plate.
Mate.
What's this? Mate. Yeah, China plate. On my I'm not on my Tobler. I've got some China plates. Yeah, this kind of thing. Okay, so guys, I'm not from Cockney, what I call Cockney land, but some we use in other regions as well. So we're going to learn it together. So I will learn something as well. We're just going to discuss this. And see, maybe, I don't know if you go to London, if you hear that maybe you've got a Cockney driver, this will be very, very funny if you can say something in Cockney. I think that would be very impressive. Okay? Because usually the taxi drivers are Cockney, but you can tell if they're talking like that, yeah, a bit like EastEnders. Think EastEnders. If you go in a taxi in London and you hear someone who sounds like he's from EastEnders, try a bit of Cockney. Okay? And that's what we'll learn now. Okay, so mate is China plate. Let's learn it. Any questions so far?
Nope.
Okay. So in previous class we've done maybe A and B. I'm a bit worried to do things like some letters, but let's try C. Okay. Cab rank. Okay. What we'll do is we'll go through them. We'll learn them. I don't know if you have some kind of way of learning them, but then we'll practice them afterwards, and we'll pick out our favourites. Of course, we cannot learn this. This is like a full language, really, and it's difficult to learn it all. But just pick out your favourites, ones that maybe you can use. It's mainly about understanding them. But usually, Cockney people wouldn't speak in Cockney to anyone else who isn't Cockney, because of course, if I went to east of London, I wouldn't understand them if they spoke to me in Cockney. But also, what's really, really cool is that if you go to the East End of London, in some cash machines, ATMs, they translate it. So they have English translation, French translation, maybe Japanese translation, Russian translation, whatever, plus Cockney translation, just as a joke. So you can get it translated French, German, Spanish, Cockney, but only on some, and they're starting to launch it. And the money's like Lady Godiva is £5. Godiva. Lady Godiva rhymes with fiver, and that's what we call £5. So we say, oh, that costs a fiver or whatever. Oh, it's a fiver, it's a tenner. But in Cockney, £5 is Lady Godiva because it sounds like fiver. Godiva fiver. Okay. So in this ATMs, you can see it says Lady Godiva. And then for £10, it would say speckled hen, because hen rhymes with 10, etc. Yeah, do you understand? Okay.
I have a question
Yes,
about
please.
Cockney. If it is a verb, do they have special words for verbs?
The thing is, yeah, so they could do. So I'm on my, well, usually not really. Maybe it's
So they change
nouns, maybe.
nouns?
I think nouns, but you could change some verbs. I'm trying to think of some examples. We'll see if there's any on the list I show you. But I think you could, yeah. So, but also it would get very complicated because, as you will see, there are some ones that could have a couple of different meanings. So sometimes, for example, trying to think, you could say one thing that means two things. Yeah, it's about context. Yeah, so that's what we'll have a look and we'll see if any comes up. Okay, but just now maybe change the nouns, otherwise it gets too complicated. Okay, just we'll go for A1 Cockney. Okay, so let's see. Cockney for beginners. I'm a beginner at Cockney as well. Maybe maybe I'm A2 at Cockney. Yeah, so I know dog and bone. That's all right. Okay, so cab rank. Do you know what a cab rank is?
Bank?
You also learned some new proper English words as well, by the way. Yeah, so a rank, a taxi rank or a cab rank. Rank has a couple of different meanings. So the rank, for example, could be your position, your rank in the army, or your rank in.
So we need to find the word that rhymes with the last word.
Yeah, but please, in fact, I shouldn't have given you the link. Okay, so cab rank, what could it rhyme with?
Bank?
Yeah, you saw it. Did you see it?
No.
Okay, so cab rank bank. Yeah, it's bank.
Oh.
So I'm going to the cab rank. But cab rank is the place where taxis wait to collect customers. So maybe outside the train station there'll be a cab rank. This is the kind of, not street, but this is where the taxis line up and customers come and take a taxi. So that's the cab rank, that's the taxi rank. And this is why it's confusing, because if you say, I need to go to the cab rank, if someone doesn't speak Cockney, that can mean literally, I'm going to get a taxi. Yeah, I would understand that means, okay, we'll go and get a taxi then. But actually in Cockney language, it means I'm going to the bank, I'm going to the cab rank. Okay?
Okay.
Cool, so that's cab rank. The next one, in fact, maybe I won't share my screen, I'll just choose some at random, so it's more fun if we play the game. Okay, so if I said to you, candle wax, what's candle wax?
Maybe it's text. Like.
Didn't you? You saw it, Anton. You saw it.
No, I didn't open. I have only one page open.
Okay, yeah, so it's good. So you're fluent in Cockney. Maybe we could go to B2 Cockney. Okay, so candle wax. Yeah, so they've taken all they're making payloads of candle wax. Yeah, candle wax. They took the candle wax from the taxi rank or the cab rank. Yeah, so they took. You can combine them. Yeah, so they took the candle wax from a cab rank. Okay, they took the tax from my bank. Okay, or they cab ranked, as in no, they candle waxed, as in they taxed. They candle waxed the cab rank. So just so if you say, for example, they taxed someone, they candle waxed. Yeah, like that. So the form state. So the grammar maybe is quite easy. Yeah, so Cockney grammar is okay. It's just the same. Alina, okay, for you, is it weird?
It's weird because, you know, many slang languages want to make words shorter, but Cockney makes them longer.
Yeah.
It's strange.
It's just because they didn't want anyone else to understand them. Yeah, they didn't want anyone else from East London to understand them. Because one, they're very proud. Now they don't really speak this so much. Maybe young people speak like anyone else, but a lot of people still try to promote this because it's part of their culture. You know, I don't know. It's just something that's unique to them, so they're very proud of it. Okay, so candle wax is tax. Okay, Michaela, do you like paying the candle wax?
I don't like it so much.
Why?
Because I like to spend money when I can't see what I have in return.
Because it takes the bee's honey out of your cab rank.
Yes.
That, by the way, that is not. I don't know if that's official Cockney, but you can also use your own words. So it's not like a set word. Bee's honey, for example, is the first thing I thought of that rhymes with money. So I didn't check this, but you can, if you understand words that, that rhyme, you can create your own ones. Yeah, it's perfectly free to do that. You're perfectly free. For example, there's like 10 for on your own. So you can say, I'm on my Tobler, I'm on my Jack Jones. There's lots of things, and this is, you can be very creative with it, and you'd understand the context. Yeah. So if I'm talking about cab rank, you already understand bank. So if I say bees honey, you would understand money. Yeah. So you don't like paying the candle wax because it takes your bees honey out of your cab rank.
Oh God, I got nothing. No, I got nothing. No,
okay, no worries. You don't like paying tax. You don't like paying candle wax because it takes your bees honey or money. There's probably an official Cockney word for money. I'm not sure, but for my example, bees honey out of your cab rank. So it takes the money out of your bank. So you don't like paying tax.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
Just so you understand how they form their words, how they form it. Okay. Anton, what do you think?
I like I like it really because I don't know. When I was a child, in Russia we have a special language. So that
it's kind of childish. Yeah, it's kind of childish.
Yes, the people, the adults did not understand us.
Yeah.
So it's it's funny.
That's what it is. But these not children. These are adults saying, "Well, we don't want the rest of them to understand us." Yeah, that's what it is. It is kind of like a childish attitude, but it's quite cool.
Like
yeah,
cool.
Bees honey is not official. We'll find the Cockney word for money. 1 second.
They will realize really easily if you are from outside, you know.
Yeah, they will know. Yeah. For example, when is the pony 25 pounds? What? So I'm trying to find a word for money. Okay, so I'll find this in the meantime. Oh, okay, yeah. Monkey. Oh, this is cool as well. I'll send you this. And there's lots of different ways of saying money. Like I told you, lady diving thing. I'll send that to you in a minute. Okay. Anyway, so let's go to the list. So that was the candle wax. Let me tell you another one. Okay. If I said to you, a Charlie Drake. A Charlie Drake. Alina?
Okay.
A Charlie Drake.
Cake, lake.
Lake,
Cake.
No.
lake,
Keep going. I'm going out for a big walloping Charlie Drake.
Break.
These are good ones, but see, you could say things like you're free if it's the right context. You could say this, but Charlie Drake, according to this, and I'm gonna trust it, just means steak. So the meat, yeah? So steak. I'm going out for a Charlie Drake, like a steak. Okay, that I didn't know. That's cool. Okay, so that's a steak is. Michaela, do you know what steak is? Steak. I'll show you.
It's like meat.
Yeah. Big, juicy steak. This is popular. Okay, so probably in your countries as well. This is a steak. So a Charlie Drake is steak. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go on. Okay, so that's Charlie Drake. So you can't link them yet, but when we get a couple, we'll try and make some sentences from them. I'll get you to practice. Do you want a... Right, so we're going for a Charlie Drake, but do you want to catch a Charlie Pride to the Charlie Drake. Something, and I'm trying to think of a new one. Okay, so do you want to catch a Charlie Pride? A Charlie Pride. Pride in my car.
Charlie Pride.
Charlie Pride. Not quite one. Do you want to catch a Charlie Pride? But also, Cockney, they use a lot of names, famous names as well. So, I don't know. That's a load of George Bush, as in tush, meaning rubbish, maybe, yeah? Or that's not official one, but you could say things like this, yeah? It's about context. It's all about context. So you're free to say whatever you like, as long as the context is kind of understandable. But there are fixed words, like, for example, Charlie Pride.
So it's right, right?
Yeah. So catch a Charlie Pride, a ride.
Catch a ride.
Catch a ride. Catch a Charlie Pride. Yeah. Annabella got it. Okay, cool. Okay, so in that case, let's go on with that. So Charlie Bride. So far, what's your favourite that you've heard? Let's ask Abdu. Are you there? Okay, Abdu. We haven't been able to hear you so far. Oh yeah, perfect.
Yes, I'm here.
Cool. Okay, Abdu, have you managed to follow by any chance?
Yes. Sorry, I have been having connection problems.
No worries at all, Abdu. Yeah. So, out of the ones we used so far, what has been your favourite? Have you got a word that you would like to use in English?
Bees and honey.
Okay. So, bees honey. That was my one. So thank you. That's cool. I tried to look for a Cockney word for money, but I couldn't find it. So you could say things like bees honey. What else rhymes with money, Anton? Create one. Create a new way of saying money.
Funny, like
yeah. But something funny. It has to be something funny.
Right.
Something. But no, you have to say a word before it. It should be like yeah. So this is difficult. George is.
I think we are all like you. I think we are all like you, Martin.
Nicholas, can you think of one? Yeah. So can you think of something that rhymes with money that you could combine? So something funny. Sunny, yeah? Can we say something like this? I don't know.
With money.
Money, something that rhymes with money. Okay, that's basically how it's formed. You find a word that rhymes with the second word should rhyme with the actual word you mean, and then you should add something else that makes sense. Fish and chips, ships maybe, for example, yeah? So
have you visited Money today? Money the Monica? Have you visited Money today? And that means extract money from the bank. I don't know.
Have you visited Money today? Yeah. This is like a code language as well. Yeah, in this could form as yeah. So have you visited Money? Yeah, would be like a code. But have you visited the bank? You would have to say bank and then Yeah. So taxi rank, cab rank. Oh, it's difficult, guys. It's difficult, isn't it? Jane, have you followed so far?
Yes, we are following.
Yeah, Jane, is that okay?
Yes, but it's too difficult.
Okay, parrot. Yeah, so create a Cockney word for parrot. What rhymes with parrot?
Red carrot.
Red carrot, parrot. For example, you could say this. Yeah. Oh, look at her red carrot. Yeah. Look at her parrot. That would be understandable. Okay.
Okay.
If we said that to someone else, I don't know, Nicholas or someone, look at red carrot, then that could be difficult. But Alina, okay, so create a Cockney word or something that could be passable for Cockney. For tell me now.
Maybe for lamp will be high jump. No.
High jump? No, that's not quite. But it could be lamp. Camp, yeah, camp.
Camp, yeah.
You could say lamp.
Forest camp. No.
Camp, yeah. You could say, yeah. But you understand the idea. It's difficult. I can't think of one off the top of my head. But that's
the most difficult is that we take the second word, the rhymes, but they use the first word.
It's got to be
That
something
doesn't
that
rhyme.
fits. So fish and chips, you could say the chips, you could anything that rhymes with it. Yeah, ships. I don't know. Uh, dog and bone. Yeah, they link. So it's got a link. Bookshelf, health, maybe for example. Yeah, no, that doesn't rhyme. Yeah, health because the shelf is with the foot, but Cockney people say foot anyway rather than foot. So you could say bookshelf, health. How's your bookshelf? How's your health? Yeah, things like that. Okay. So in fact, let's do that now. Let's create words for things like bookshelf to go together. Chocolate bar. Chocolate bar is Cockney. What's the normal word? Chocolate bar. What could it be?
Car.
Car. Yeah. So this kind of thing. So chocolate bar, car. Yeah. that kind of style. Okay. So give us a sentence using everything we have used. Who can use every single Cockney word we've used in one big story? Scroll up on the verb in chat box and try to make a story out of every single verb, every single Cockney word. Difficult. Michaela, could you try and make a story? In the order they come in. So, for example, first I went to the cab rank to pay my candle wax, but there was no bees honey, so I couldn't get the Charlie drink. This kind of thing, yeah? So, I know, create some kind of story.
I don't like paying. What's the word?
Where's it gone? I can't find it. We've got China plate.
It's so difficult.
It's
I don't
really
like
difficult.
paying candle wax
Yeah?
because I don't have honey in my cab rank. Maybe because I don't have any honey in my cab rank.
Any, maybe bees honey or something.
Sunny.
Anything with honey, this sounds you could say. Bees honey in my cab rank. Yeah, cool.
Yes, and then
So now I'm sitting at home eating on my toe there.
and now I feel a chocolate one.
Yeah, cool.
It doesn't have any sense, I think.
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, so that's good. Who would like to continue this story? Yeah, I won't make one person do all of it. Jane, could you please continue his story?
Oh, I don't know if I can do it.
It's
No
like we
worries.
don't understand anything.
Yeah, it's really difficult because you're trying to think about that. It's going beyond English. Now you understand the English words. You're just trying to make it sound weird. What we're going to do then is follow this, but using this website, I'm just going to pick a random letter and go through them and try to practice them. Yeah, so you can see them right in front of you. You can see the meaning straight away. Yeah, I think that would be easy. Do you want to go from slang to English, Cockney rhyming slang to English, or English to Cockney rhyming slang? We'll go this way. Okay, so we'll go. That was some C words. We'll go to D. Okay, so Dad's army is barmy. What does barmy mean? That's an English word. That's not a slang word. Barmy is an English word. Barmy. Oh, he's barmy.
Like insane, crazy.
Yeah. You're barmy. You're crazy. It's kind of not so serious as insane. For example, if your friend offers to pay for your food at a restaurant, you can say, "Oh, you're balmy," meaning you're crazy, you're strange, yeah, but not in a negative way. Meaning, "Oh, don't be balmy, don't be daft." This kind of meaning. And barmy, so is Dad's army in Cockney. So, you're so Dad's army, I guess you could say. You're a bit Dad's army. You're barmy. You're crazy. You're Dad's army. Dad's army was a thing in the war, in the Second World War, I think. If anyone's seen this show, there's a show called Dad's Army. Very, very old. I don't know if you've heard about it, but that's something else. Okay, and the words don't relate, they just rhyme. That's the thing. So they're talking about Dad's army. It's not talking about this thing from the war. It's just that army rhymes with barmy. Okay? Okay? So, and Johan, yeah, so if you understand all Cockney, you think it would be super. Well, the thing is, I like to. I hope I'm advanced at English speaking, but I don't understand Cockney. But I want to speak it. Yeah, I think it's quite a good one. Okay, daffodowndilly is silly. So balmy and silly are very similar. He's a bit daffodowndilly. That's cool. Right. Good. Or okay, that's cool. They've swapped it around. Dad's army rhymes with barmy, but daft and barmy equals army. So if you want to say the barmy army, you would say the dad's army, daft and barmy. That's cool. That's really cool. Okay, so we say the barmy army. The army was barmy, meaning the army were not quite good. Yeah, so they're a bit weak. They're barmy. They're crazy. So the barmy army would be in Cockney the dad's army, daft and barmy. So, like,
Okay.
Okay, so here if you can see this word, I don't know if it's big enough for you. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so here, for example, dad's army equals barmy, but army equals dad's barmy. Here's Cockney, here's English. Okay, so dad's army, daft and barmy, which means the barmy army. So here we've got adjectives, so it's not just about nouns. Yeah, so someone asked at the beginning if it's just about nouns. We've got adjectives. The silly people, the daffodowndilly, something that rhymes with people, I don't know.
You told that stairs was apples and pears.
Yeah.
But there is another variant.
Yeah, okay, so Daisy Dancers. I don't know why that rhymes. One second, let's have a look. Daisy Dancers. Let's go for stairs. Let's go English to Cockney and find, because usually there are lots of different variants, okay? So let's have a look. Wait. Is there salmon and trout? No, that's... Okay, let's go here, for example, stairs. Wait. So, for example, sauce has five, yeah? So you can say rocking horse for sauce, a dead horse, Inspector Morse, Air Force, yeah? For sauce. But let's find stairs, 1 second. See if there's a few. But I don't like that one I just saw, it's not so clear. Slash, for example, to urinate, has, look how many ways of saying to urinate, as in to go to toilet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 ways of saying to go for a piddle. Okay,
So they pee a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because of the pubs, I think, yes. Wait. Okay, stairs. Okay, so here we go. We've got dancing bears for stairs. Daisy dances apples and pears. Yeah, Daisy dances is the one we talked about, but you can also say dancing pears. I'm going up with dancing bears. I don't know. But you can see you are completely free, yeah? There's no real set words, but these are the ones that are well known. I'd say apples and pears is the most common for stairs. But you can say dancing bears, that also rhymes with stairs. Or lots of hairs, I don't know, whatever. Okay, so Daisy dances, I don't know why that rhymes with stairs, but wait. It doesn't rhyme, so I don't. This is an exception, maybe. Please say there's no exceptions. Yeah, I thought this language would be easy. Yeah, with any exceptions, but that's an exception. Daisy dances rhymes with some. It will be something linking to stairs, which is not stairs. Daisy dances. Dances. What else can I say? Chances. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So that's that. Okay, let's go from English to slang. I think that's better.
And for example, if
yep, please, Alina.
we say chocolate bears instead of dancing bears, will people understand that we're talking about stairs?
If you use it in the right context, I'm going up the chocolate bears, you would understand that.
Okay.
Okay. Abdu. Are you following?
Yes, I'm following. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's practice some. But the main thing I want you to get from today is not to learn loads of words because that's tricky. But it's to learn really how you can form it. So you understand, for example, if you hear this in London, which would probably not happen so much if they grasp that you're not Cockney. They wouldn't speak to me necessarily in Cockney all the time. But if you hear it, you understand how to form it so you can kind of try to interpret what they're saying. Yeah, try to translate it if you understand the pattern. The pattern is usually pretty clear. Okay, so got the tin tack this morning. Now I'm on the rock and roll again. The sack is what? What does it mean to be sacked? To get the sack? To get the sack.
Get the sack. What does need to get the sack, right?
That's English, yeah. That's English.
That means to show the door.
Yeah,
be hide.
to be shown the door, to get the sack. Bye bye, don't come back. Yeah. Yeah. So your boss would give you the sack, you would get the sack. You receive the sack from your boss, meaning he says you cannot work here anymore. You get the sack.
You are fired.
You get fired. Yeah. Perfect. So to get sacked is here tin tack. I got tin tacked this morning. Or I got the tin tack. Now I'm on the rock and roll. Roll could make me with. Oh, okay. Rock and roll rhymes with a thing called doll. Okay, doll. Do you know what the doll is? This is English. Oh, he's on the doll.
Doll is the toy girls play with when they're a child.
Yep, that would be doll with 2 L's, but to be on the doll, if you lose the job, you'd have to go on. Yeah, that. I don't know.
Unemployed.
Okay, so unemployed, and you get the money from the government. That's we call doll money. So I'm on the doll, meaning I'm getting money from the government at the moment because I'm unemployed. Yeah. So he's. So in this example, I got the tin tack this morning. Now I'm on the rock and roll again, meaning I got the sack this morning. Now I'm on the doll again. Yeah. So to go on the dole is to lose your job and to get money from the government. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Any more? And that's English. Dole is English. Okay. The saloon bar is a balloon. What's a balloon car? Oh, saloon bar. Okay, that's cool. Is balloon car. Yeah, that's not so interesting. Sandals. And this is also what happens with Cockney. So it's not always so straightforward. If you thought this was straightforward, and I don't think you do. Like for example, Tobler comes from Toblerone, and here, for example, in sandals, why are you wearing those Romans? Because Roman is short for Roman candles. Candles rhymes with sandals, but it's difficult sometimes when you're talking fast to say why are you wearing those Roman candles. So you just shorten it to Romans. So eventually it becomes something else. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Why are you wearing those Romans? Why are you wearing those sandals? Even though Romans doesn't rhyme with sandals, it's short for Roman candles. Okay. That's too difficult, I think, yeah? So I think I made it too complicated. Anton, is it alright?
Yeah, it's alright.
This is the most difficult thing about Cockney.
Yeah,
Sorry,
if I
Alina?
hear you...
It is the most difficult thing about Cockney that sometimes people use the first word, not the rhyming word.
Yeah, and that's why it's difficult if you don't speak Cockney. So if someone said dog and bone, you could kind of work out, you think, okay, what could it be? It could be telephone. That would make sense. I'm going on my dog and bone. If he gets his phone out, you can work out that means phone. But if he said I'm going on my dog, you would understand what maybe he has some kind of attraction to his dog or something. I don't know. Yeah. So that could be quite difficult. So guys, I read an article. It's really strange going on to this about a man. It was a German magazine about a man who is has a kind of sexual relationship with his dog. Okay, and he goes on dates with his dog, and he goes on to restaurants and things like this. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. So, I've read this quite recently. It's still in my head, so maybe that was influenced. Anyway, okay. So onion bhaji. Does everyone know what an onion bhaji is? Onion. In the UK, Indian food is the most common food, the most popular food out of all the food. So it's more popular than fish and chips. We eat more curry than anything else. And an onion bhaji is something very, very, very delicious. It's a common thing that you'd eat at. Here's an onion bhaji. Can you see?
Yeah.
So it's like an Indian potato, oniony, spicy snack.
Snack.
Like a snack, kind of thing you could put with, not all of it, but if you have, maybe you have one, yeah, with the dinner or whatever.
I would have 1,000 of them. Look at that.
Have you tried it, guys? Something similar in your country?
Yeah, it looks delicious.
What is it made of?
Potato, onion, and lots of spices. So it's like potatoey, oniony, fried, and it's really, really, really good.
Oh,
So yeah, so it's quite nice. And we eat more curry because basically we prefer it to our own food. So if really, I would say now the national dish is not fish and chips, but I would say it's vindaloo or tandoori, yeah, so korma, because we eat more curry than fish and chips or anything. So it's really, really popular because there's a big like Indian community and stuff, yeah. So and Cockney people would also eat this. They would have maybe a takeaway. Guys, do you know what a takeaway is?
to take away.
It's when you don't eat in a restaurant, it's when you take and do eat somewhere else.
Yeah, so you'd order a takeaway, you'd phone them up and they'll deliver it to you, or you collect it in the shop. Like Indian takeaway, a Chinese takeaway is very, very common. And usually this is what people do maybe on Friday night, they have a takeaway. Yeah, and in Cockney, I guess it's the same as everywhere in the UK. So in this case, it was saying onion bhaji. It rhymes with sarji, which is short for sergeant. Okay? Do you know what a sergeant is?
Yes, it's a rank in the military.
Yeah, so a sergeant, like sergeant major and stuff. So onion bhaji is a sergeant. Because onion bhaji rhymes with sarji, which is a short way of saying sergeant. Okay?
Okay.
And also sani. This is English, but maybe you don't know this as sani. This is an English word, but maybe British English. Alina, do you know what a sani is? It's short for something. Okay, think in the same terms. A sarji is short for a sergeant. So no, that doesn't work.
Sunny
No, it
sandwich.
doesn't quite work. It doesn't quite. Yeah, sandwich. Yeah, so it's a sandwich because sani is short. I don't know. That doesn't link actually, but a sani is a sandwich. That's a common British English or whatever. I'm going to eat a sandwich, sani or a sandwich. Yeah. And sani rhymes with Giorgio Armani. So an Armani is a sani.
I'm gonna eat Giorgio Armani.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm gonna eat a Giorgio Armani. I'm gonna eat a sandwich.
Strawberry with gold.
This is,
Yeah, yeah.
This is gross.
I'm gonna eat. You can get this though, yeah. So I've seen this from Dubai or whatever, like pictures of like people eating gold stuff. And things. But yeah, I don't know, yeah. So if someone, yeah, the thing is, I don't know if a man from Dubai or whatever comes, I want to eat Giorgio Armani, meaning actually I want to eat this as in make it look like this or luxurious. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so Giorgio Armani is sani. Okay, popping out for a quick Giorgio Armani. Popping out. I'm going to grab a Giorgio Armani. Okay.
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 Sani bhaji doesn't quite rhyme. Okay, Sani sandwich. Get us a Rejvani. Okay, Rejvani also rhymes with Sani, so that's another way. So here it says, "Oi, get us a bacon Reg." So Rejvani rhymes with Sani, so it's sandwich. So you can say Giorgio Armani or Rejvani, and you can say, "Get us a bacon Reg," which means get us a bacon sandwich. Yeah, and they usually say here it says oi, yeah, so oi, 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 yeah, oi, get us a bacon Reg. Guys, there's a lot to take in. Now I'm going to ask you what your favourite is up until now. So, Nicholas,
Wow.
have you got a favourite one?
Yeah, my tobla. It's the only one I
Tobla.
could give up.
Remember,
Yeah.
To be honest, the same. So,
Yeah,
is the-
because then the others is like senseless, useless. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't like this. The thing is that, come on, man, say sandwich, and that's it.
Yeah,
But,
no, that's the thing, and that's why they did it, because it's difficult to learn. If anyone wanted to speak, well, they'd have to learn it, and they just didn't want, you know, they wanted to be separate, I guess. Yeah, so it's a way of making everyone confused. But it's just to get you familiar with the pattern. That's all. But Alina, can I just ask, does something like this exist in your countries? Not exactly the same, but do you have something like this, like a part of a city which maybe speak differently, but not in terms of dialect, but in terms of even the words they use, just to be different?
Yes, usually children do this.
Yeah, so I think Cockney people big children, yes.
Well, we have here in Argentina. We have, for instance, this is really rude. I'm so sorry for women, because this is for women. For instance, Andres,
Yeah.
the one who
It's gone
after
yeah, no, it's
a
okay.
month. No,
Say again. The
Andrés,
one,
el que viene una vez por mes, and the one who comes after a month. And what comes after a month?
okay, yeah. So the
You got
time.
it, right?
Yeah, okay. The one who comes
Okay.
after. Okay, yeah, things like this. So you would say this, so people could understand you, yeah. So people could get the gist, but you wouldn't say use it like month, French, I don't know, whatever, yeah. You wouldn't make it complicated. But guys, okay. So would anyone ever speak this? If you went to London, would you try to speak a bit Cockney to a Cockney person? I can't. I'm too scared to. And I'm maybe I'm native speaker for English, so maybe that's a bit different. But would you like to be able to have a conversation in Cockney, Elena?
If it will be if it is slowly, then why not?
Try it. Yes, that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I speak English without Cockney and you don't understand me. If I start speaking Cockney,
yeah,
it will be really hard.
So I'm gonna go. I don't know. He could say something that you think is Cockney, but it's English. I'm going to get some fish and chips. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So then you think of fish and chips. What does that rhyme with? No. I'm going to the taxi rank. Meaning, actually, I am going to the taxi rank. Yeah. So it's difficult to judge. So, Abdu, do you think you would ever use this?
No, no way.
It's too difficult. Yeah. It's too difficult.
Yes, so hard.
Do you think it's cool though? Or do you think it's annoying that maybe a part speaks differently?
Yeah, it's cool. That's really hard.
It's so difficult. I don't know if you can enroll on Cockney classes if you go. But you know that would be a really cool business idea, wouldn't it? Yeah, it's a Cockney language school. I don't know. That's kind of cool. Okay, so
That's a good idea.
but no one would go. Okay, I would go though. We have Omar.
Yeah, I'm so late.
No worries.
Don't worry.
That's
I
okay.
think you.
So late. Okay, how would you turn this into Cockney? Oh, in fact, this is one that my parents always used. They're not Cockney, but they would use roommate. Okay, you're late. You get in 2 and 8.
Ah.
This is something my parents would have used, even though they're not Cockney, because some of them is used in other parts of the UK, common ones because they sound cool or they're widely known. But 2 and 8, Martin, don't get yourself in a 2 and 8. I remember my parents saying this to me when I was a child. Don't get in the 2 and 8.
Don't get late.
Late? No, not quite. State, okay? Meaning, stay calm. Don't get in a state. Don't get upset. Don't get angry. Yeah. Don't get in a 2 and 8 means state, and that's an example. My family have no Cockney connections, but things like this is used. Yeah. Don't get in a 2 and 8 state. Okay. Things like that in other regions. Yeah. So just because it's a good way of describing it. So Omar. Okay. So this Cockney. Did you manage to follow anything that we talked about so far?
No, actually, I just been dribbling and I saw the class.
And you thought, what's happening? Okay, so Cockney is what, Alina? Can you please summarize what the hell this is?
Cockney is kind of slang that people use to encode themselves so other people don't understand them.
Yeah, okay, and nowadays young people maybe, because it was before that, for example, if your dad had the market stall in the east of London, that would be your job, yeah? So you would do what your parents do, and you would maintain this tradition. Now, for example, young people are going to university elsewhere. They don't live in Cockney land all the time. But like, Cockney land is not an official term for it, it's my word. So they don't live there now, so they speak just like anyone else, yeah? But traditionally, this is how they would speak. But I think young people want to maintain a little bit something, because it's kind of cool.
I have a question. How many Cockney people are there?
Have no idea, but it's a small area. So, like I said at the beginning, if you can hear the bells from this church, you are Cockney. So, let me find out. Okay, so this is interesting. It's all talking about Cockney. Term Cockney. Wait. How many people?
Where don't I have to go?
Yeah, just well, the thing is because they usually a lot of them are taxi drivers and things like this. But if you ask them for directions, a lot of the time they talk a bit like that. Yeah, so they would talk a bit Cockney, but really London slang. But they don't speak like this. Yeah, so they talk with this accent, like a bit like that, bit that Cockney accent, but they won't talk in Cockney. And for you, they would never talk in Cockney. I think for me, they wouldn't talk in Cockney either because I'm an outsider. But if you're on the market and you hear two Cockney people speaking, you may hear this. Yeah, two proper Cockney. But Ashley Cole, for example, do you know Ashley Cole, the footballer?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a Cockney. He's a proper Cockney. Barbara Windsor was in EastEnders, but she's Cockney. Alan Sugar is the businessman. So there's lots of celebrities who are famous Cockneys. But now, of course, like Michael Caine, he has this kind of accent. Have you heard of Michael Caine? Yeah, do you know Michael Caine? So he's a film star. And he has the accent of Cockney, but he doesn't really speak like this. I don't know if you know this. Stephen Burkoff, all kind of actors and stuff. Footballers, Harry Redknapp, if you've heard of him. I don't know. So things like this, yes. Harry Redknapp is like a football manager. So I think he's managing Tottenham now, if you've heard of this. But
Yeah.
okay, so these are famous Cockneys. And they probably would speak this. But now they wouldn't on TV and TV interviews. Of course, they wouldn't speak this because no one understands them. Okay, and they're talking about evolution. So if you're wanting to read about it, I'll send you this link. Okay, this tells you about how it's changing or where it came from. Okay.
Okay.
But anyway, guys. Okay, so there's an unusual class. It's not kind of like in the usual style and stuff. But I hope it was okay for you. Good to speak with you. Someone else has just joined us. I'll say hi and bye. But Joanna, are you there? Hello?
Bye.
Take care, Joanna. Thank you. Hopefully, speak to you soon. We've run out of time, but hopefully I'll catch up with you soon in a future session, okay?
Okay.
Cool. Take care, guys. Speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, goodbye.